All right. Hello, 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 everyone. Let me introduce myself first. My name is Maisha, and I am the Sensual Energy Alchemist, and I provide coaching for women who are ready to step into their go live here sensual feminine power and create lives filled with orgasmic pleasure, play, and ease. And on the B side of that album, I am here for the liberation of the bodies of Black and Brown women from the cultural, societal, and religious expectations that hold us back from being our most authentic selves and having the longest, strongest orgasms possible. And I gotta tell you, I used to go live all the time and it just was not nerve wracking at all. Like, I love going live, I love doing video, but hey, all, hey, everyone, everyone who's joining. But as of late, it has been like, I don't know if I want to be on video. So I really have to take a look at that because what it actually means is that I really actually need to be on video. The fact that there's a fear of it, it means that there's something that needs to be said that I'm just kind of scared of being the one to say it. But I can't let that hold me back. So welcome to this particular live stream. And today I'm going to be speaking on transforming your pain into pleasure. It is something that, if I were going to be an expert in anything, I feel like this is the thing that I have some expertise in. I'm sure you do too. I'm sure many of you do. Hey, how you doing? I'm sure many of you have some expertise in what it means to transform your pain into pleasure. I'm speaking to those who don't. I'm speaking today to those who have experienced pain and are stuck and really want to move past it, but aren't sure how. Now, let me be clear, pain doesn't have to mean this overwhelming trauma that has happened to you or the loss of a loved one. By for sure, those are huge markers of pain, right? But pain can be being a latchkey kid and feeling like you were all alone in the world. Pain can be just a really devastating breakup unexpectedly that you really thought this relationship was kind of going to last, and now you're a little bit stuck in that space, right? For me, actually, the most traumatic experience that I had was not being sexually assaulted or necessarily dealing with the bullying in school. Those things were traumatic and they did add some layers to it. But for me, the most traumatic thing was losing my home at the age of 10. And as I'm speaking about this, I don't want you to start thinking about your pain stories because we're going to get past this. I just like to use myself as my own student, right? And use that me as the example so that you can kind of grow from there. Losing my home at the age of 10 was devastating because it was completely unexpected. I was just on the cusp of puberty, right? So, hormones are starting to do whatever it is they're going to do. I'm just coming into whatever it is I was going to come into. This had been my home since I was 4 years old. I had already just switched schools. I had just switched schools a couple of weeks or prior to that, or about a month prior to that, right? So I'm still getting used to going to a whole new school that I don't like, but at least I have my home. I've got my toys, I got my dollhouse, I've got all the things that I'm accustomed to. And then on the heels of starting a new school, I lose my home. I wake up one morning, get ready for school, take the train ride from Brooklyn to Manhattan. Did not like that long train ride, y'all. I'm just saying it right now. Go to school. I'm ready to woosah, come back to my sanctuary after a day of fuckery, right, in the new school with the bullying, only to be told that we're not going home. That's it. That was it. Done. My bed, gone. Toys, gone. Everything, gone. That moment not only caused a shift and a split in me, it was also the start of my decades long battle with depression. Yes, that started for me at 10 years old. Yes, at 10 years old, I asked to see a therapist. I did, me, because I knew I needed one. But I didn't know that I was in pain, and I certainly didn't have the tools to transform that into anything else. Honestly, most of us don't. When we encounter times of hardship or trials of life, far too many of us, and while I know there are men and women watching, just know that most of what I do is I coach to women, and I coach to our bodies, and I coach to our energetics, and I specifically coach to the feminine energetics that live within us, because I think we're really good on the masculine energetics, right? We're good on the action, but we're missing out on the feminine part. And feminine is not the same as my hair is long and I'm wearing lipstick and I've got on heels and a dress, just to be clear. So I speak a lot to that particular energy if you're new to me and just getting to know me here. What I find is that when we encounter times of pain and distress, the first thing is we push through. We have to. And just it's interesting. My daughter asked me about depression during my marriage, and my marriage was not a healthy marriage. Talk about transforming pain into pleasure. It's probably why I ended up with an interest in BDSM, but that's a lie for another time. She asked me, had I felt depression in the marriage, and I said, absolutely. But there was no way I could go into a hospital with small children. I couldn't afford to take that kind of break. And I know that there are a lot of mothers who completely understand that. And men, I got you too. I know mental health is a huge issue for men. And me speaking about women doesn't mean that I don't respect and understand that men have huge mental health issues that are completely overlooked and ignored. I just don't happen to focus on men. But for the record, for the women who are watching this, I need you to understand that men they go through depression and other mental health issues and battles that we will never know about, because society states and dictates that they too must push through, especially as men, that they cannot take any time to feel any emotion whatsoever, which is one of the reasons why there's such a problem and imbalance between relationships of men and women. But again, that's for another live stream. See why y'all got to stay tuned? You see the topics that are going to be coming up here? Back to the women. As mothers, when are we taking time to say, you know what, I need to go take care of my mental health for 2 weeks and have children to take care of and a spouse to take care of, right? That's not happening. And so I explained that to my daughter, that yes, even though I was suffering with depression and looking back on it, and she and I were both looking back on it, the way we lived, it was clear that she was growing up with both parents who were raising children while they were depressed. So when we're in the midst of pain, we don't transform it into pleasure. What we do is we try first to push through, right? I just got to keep going. I can't collapse. I can't stop. I got to go. Everyone's depending on me. And so we do that, generally running ourselves into the ground, generally feeling exhausted at the end of the day, unable to create the life we actually desire and we want, a life that lights us up inside and makes us feel juicy. We get up and we go to work every single day. We smile when we're there every single day. We smile at coworkers, at friends, at family, and really all the while inside, everything is crumbling. And too often, including our health. Our health is usually the first indicator as a woman that something is off kilter with us energetically. Because in the world that I study in, things like fibromyalgia and cysts and fibroids and PCOS aren't just physical things. They are the physical manifestation of something that is happening energetically in your body. Because what happens for us as women is we become so far removed from our feminine energy. And yes, I do speak in heteronormative terms because that is the lane that I live in. If that is not the lane that you live in, I've got plenty of resources for you to direct you in that way. I just wanted to put that out there. When this feminine energy is depressed in our bodies and when it is depleted, when we do not have the ability to transmute, to alchemize what is happening in our lives, to shift it into pleasure, we become stagnant energetically. We get stuck. We cannot utilize the superpowers that we were born with, especially that sacral chakra power. What I've learned in my journey, what I've had to do, is learn how to transmute that pain into pleasure without it having to go through BDSM. Haha. Though that is a fun way to do it. And that is what alchemy is about. If you know the stories of, Merlin and Old, if you're not aware of what alchemy is, it is the metaphysical, it is the changing of iron into gold, basically. That's the simplest way to put it. The magical transformation of iron ore, something hard and dense, into gold, something precious and beautiful. One of the first steps in alchemy is understanding, how did we get where we're at? Now, this is after the triage of what you've been through, right? So, for instance, I was in what many would describe a marriage of domestic violence. That is what most people would describe it as, even though that you don't have to hit, by the way, for that to be happening, just to be clear. Now, before I could get to the point of, let me see how I got myself here, first I had to deal with just that situation, right? And the pain of that situation, obviously. I had to stop the bleeding. But once I began to come out of that haze, next on the agenda was, okay, how did I get there? What happened within me? What was going on? What was this relationship reflecting back to me? And was there anything of wisdom in it for me? And isn't that challenging? When you're fired from a job a week before Christmas and you're looking to find out what's the wisdom in this for me, it's so hard to see that, because all you're imagining is, I don't have anything to give my children, to give my family. When you're left at the altar, it's really difficult to say, oh, there's wisdom in that. Oh, what was in that for me? Oh, yeah, there's growth there. When you're laid off, right? It takes a minute. It is not, you can understand why this isn't something that most people even begin to attempt. Because the first thing that happens is we get into anger and shame and blame and fear, which are all natural. Those are all natural parts of being human and all natural reactions to what has happened. But we were never meant to stay there. We were never meant to get stuck down in that particular valley. And far too many of us do. One relationship goes sour and it's, I will never give my heart to anyone else again. One friendship goes bad and it's, I will never be friends with women again. Because we want to protect ourselves. But what if there was a way for us to take that pain and actually switch it into something where we could find so much pleasure from it? Some of y'all are like, I don't think so. That just sounds too weird for me. I just want to be pissed off at the whole entire situation. I just want to blame them. It's their fault, and that's it. And here's the thing. You can hang out right there. My intention is not to come on to my live streams and try to get you to change your mind or be someone different. Only an invitation to open up to another possibility. What if there was a way for you to take that adversity, to take that pain, to take that experience and turn it into gold, to utilize it for your elevation? Would that be better for you than sitting in the anger, the shame, the blame, the guilt, the regret of the situation? Would it at least not feel better to you? This is what Sensual Energy Alchemy is all about. This is what the business that I built is all about. Because I spent decades of my time feeling all of those things, wishing my life were different. Could I go back and change something when you know that we can't? I shoulda, coulda, woulda. And the whole entire time, all I kept doing was repeating things over and over again because I was still stuck in old patterns over and over again that no longer served me. And here's the thing about changing patterns of behavior. By the way, these patterns can follow you to work. Did you know that? Your relationship patterns. Have you ever been at a job and found yourself like in a work environment that reminded you of a toxic relationship? Like of a relationship that was like, and you're like, oh my God, work is just like home. How did that happen? Because we don't bring to us what we want. We bring to us who we are, what we're vibrating, what we're emitting. I did not like that, by the way. When I heard that, I was like, oh, hell no, we're gonna have to change some things around here. And here's the big fear. If I change these things and I shift my life, who am I going to be? If I'm not the CEO, then who am I? If I'm not the entrepreneur, then who am I? If I am not the mother who is in charge of the PTA and does all the things, then who am I? And that's the question that we start to have to ask ourselves. At least it's the question I had to start asking myself. Who am I without all of the identities and pieces that I thought I was? And is there even gold in that journey? And who do I actually really want to be? And how do I actually really want to live? And can I utilize the experiences that I've had in my life? Instead of seeing it as a building crumbling down, can I use those bricks to build the structure that was always intended to be? And the answer is yes, you can, if that is the journey you choose. So that's it today, short and sweet. At least I'm going to try to keep these short and sweet. I want to thank you all for joining. I want to thank you for listening today. I will look at comments and respond to things. I so appreciate you. I just can't do both because I'm looking at two different screens as it is, but I promise you I will get back with you once this live stream is over. If you are interested and feel aligned right now, I am offering one-off sessions. I generally don't. I don't enjoy offering one-off sessions because I think that it takes time to shift things. But I do understand that sometimes people are like, but what's it really like? So I'm offering one-off sessions, which means one session with me, max of 3. I'll give max of 3. Through September 30th, because it's Virgo season and it's my birthday and there's a little bit of cut up because my birthday was just on Sunday. Hello. Because my birthday was just Sunday and it is Virgo season, I'm offering individual sessions at $111. And you can choose, you can purchase 3 of them max. And you can schedule them out. So they don't all have to happen now, but it is up until September 30th. So you can purchase now and then you can schedule them through September, October, November, if you so desire. It's just that the cutoff for purchasing these sessions will be on September 30th. If you are interested in something more group-like, you can join the Temple of Sensual Energy Alchemy. I do live teachings in there once a month. I also do a live stream weekly and also a card pull. The card pull of the week is what inspired this talk today. If you'd like to know the card of the week, you have to join the membership. And that in order to join that membership, you can join it here at the Temple of Sensual Energy Alchemy. It is $25 a month. And you can come into a sisterhood of women who are also reclaiming their sensual feminine energy and power, because the world's a little off balance, y'all. It's just a little off balance. That's all I'm gonna say. It's a little off balance, right? So you can feel free to join the Temple of Sensual Energy Alchemy. And if you'd like to learn more about me and what I do and who I am, you can check out my website at www.sensualenergyalchemy.com. That is it for today. Find me on Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook. I'm on TikTok, but I don't think I like it as much as I do Instagram. So just saying. But you can find me on all the platforms as well to get to know me a little better and learn more about me. And that is it for today. This is a podcast too, but I'm still working on it. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. I love you even if I don't know you. Bye, y'all.